Hey everybody, this is Rich and you're with Beekeeping with Rich. So this morning we did a little video on checking to see if the queen cages that I put in these hives 3 days ago had released their queens. First one had, second one hadn't, third one had. I undid the plug, the little bit of plug that was left in one on number 2 here, and I said I'd come back out and feed them this afternoon and check it. I was sure it'd be fine. And my wife said, "Oh, I want to do a video on that." And I said, "That's not worth a video." But it suddenly occurred to me that there is something that is worth a video. You know, she goes, "Oh, feeding the bees is worth a video." I said, "I already did a video on feeding the bees, but I did it on the table." But I want to show you something I failed to show you last time. And that is these screens that I used for a long time. 1/2-inch hardware cloth on a frame. Do please note that on the back side of it, I cut up a yardstick and put a little piece down here, because if you just put the hardware cloth on this and you set that on top of the hive, then for all intents and purposes, you're making hundreds and hundreds of little vents for them to smell the feed or whatever, and you're going to be driving lots of bees nuts. And they're going to be all over the place. So please don't just make it and not put something on the other side. But hey, running a yardstick through the table saw works just fine. Anywho, I'm going to start this video by first showing you what you can do on the cheap. And lots of beekeepers have done this their entire careers. And that is, you need to feed some bees. You rip a piece of newspaper up. I strongly suggest wetting down the newspaper. Not that you absolutely have to, but it's a really good idea to do so. And then you can either put completely dry sugar on here, or you can put the damp sugar like I use on here. No extra equipment necessary. I would never choke out the whole thing. Make sure they have room to get around. They will chew up the paper when they're done. It would be best if you had a little shim to put on here. So you can't really give them massive amounts because you've got to spread this out enough so that, you know, it isn't completely mashed. But there you are. We just fed some bees with the wet sugar. Damp sugar, I should say, not wet. So that's one way to do it. Right now I'm going to check to see if the queen is released from this one. Let me move this out of the way. Well, I shouldn't be too surprised. The other one had a big pile of bees on it still a moment ago when I came out and moved it. And it was definitely empty. Come on, ladies. Let me in there. Okay. Well, there's a bee in there. I can't tell if it's her or not until I get rid of some of these others. Oh, it is definitely the queen. Okay. They haven't removed enough to get her completely out yet. Well, that surprises me. Okay. Now it is completely clear. I'm going to let her walk out on her own. If she's still there in the morning, it's going to be a matter of, no, no, I don't want to go. However, so what I did for a very long time was use this shim with a piece of newspaper. And by the way, I use damp sugar, but if you spray your newspaper down and you put dry sugar on it, and then you spray the dry sugar so that the surface is damp all the way around, that works too. However, if you put the dry sugar down and you don't spray it with some water, then I've had bees that propolised it, and I've had bees that hauled it all out of the hive. Can you imagine the amount of work it took to haul this much dry sugar out and dump it out the front of the hive? Pardon me? I'm doing this just to demonstrate. Normally I would put it in the rapid feeder. But, you know, this is just a demonstration. But it works. No, actually I was going to use another feeder shim, and I was going to do it a different way. The way I actually do it. I don't use the newspaper. Because the bees chew up the newspaper and haul it out all out of the hive. Which means they're working. It's effort. I try to make things as effortless for the bees as I can. If there's something I can do for them so that they don't have to do it for themselves, I'm perfectly happy to do so. And what I have been known to do in the past is, this is a page divider. Thin, nice, firm plastic. The bees aren't going to mess with it. It's not going to be in there long enough for them to propolize the whole thing. This one hasn't been trimmed to size. I didn't take the time to go look for one. But this is the way I fed bees for a long time before I found the rapid feeders. And there's a little bit of pollen substitute, a little protein powder. I forgot to put it in that one. I'll go do that now. There we go. Oops. I can't leave that sitting around out here. No, I'm just putting the shim on because that's my inner cover. The rapid feeder shim replaces the inner cover. So, My wife was pointing out that I didn't really need to put the rapid feeder back on there, and that's true, but the rapid feeder sits inside the rapid feeder shim, and the rapid feeder shim acts as my inner cover. So whether I'm actually putting anything in the rapid feeder or not, I still have to put it back on there. And if I took the rapid feeder off and set it over here for some reason, I'd have to put a piece of wood or something to cover it. So, okay, that's about it. I'm going to put some pollen back in this one. I'm going to go over there and I'm going to feed those three with their rapid feeders using the rest of this damp sugar. But that's not something you need to see. You've seen the interesting part of this. So everybody have a great day. Hit that like button and subscribe. Have a great day, everyone. Bye-bye. Oh, if you see the thing jerking, she's trying to shut it off with her gloves on.